Most people think they're tired because they don't sleep enough. But many people sleep 7 or 8 hours and still wake up exhausted, not sleepy, exhausted, heavy, unmotivated, unable to focus. That's not a sleep problem. That's a nervous system problem. When people say they're tired, they usually don't mean they want to fall asleep. They mean it's hard to start things. They mean their attention collapses after a few minutes. They mean even simple tasks feel expensive. This kind of tiredness doesn't come from doing too much. It comes from being constantly activated without depth. Your brain evolved to alternate between two states: deep focus and real rest. What it did not evolve for is permanent stimulation, notifications, scrolling, background noise, switching tasks every few minutes, consuming information without acting on it. The brain never fully engages, but it also never shuts down. So you end up in a third state, not calm enough to recover, not focused enough to produce. That state feels like tiredness. Biologically, what's happening is simple. Focus and motivation are driven largely by dopamine, not pleasure dopamine, effort dopamine, the signal that says, this is worth doing. When dopamine is low or unstable, effort feels heavy, starting feels difficult, and sustaining attention feels almost impossible. But dopamine doesn't drop because you're lazy. It drops when the brain learns that effort no longer leads to meaningful reward. Constant stimulation trains the brain to expect fast, shallow rewards. Quick hits, low effort, no depth. Over time, anything that requires real concentration starts to feel aversive. Not because it's hard, but because the nervous system has been miscalibrated. This is why motivation advice doesn't work. People are told to push through, to discipline themselves, to want it more. But willpower is expensive, and forcing effort on a misaligned nervous system increases stress hormones. Stress temporarily increases alertness, but it blocks sustained dopamine release. That's why pushing works for a few days, maybe a week, and then collapses. Burnout isn't caused by work. It's caused by work without neurological recovery. To understand this, you need to understand arousal. Your nervous system has two dominant modes, one for action, one for recovery. Most people live stuck in between. They're slightly stressed all the time, slightly alert, slightly distracted. That low-grade activation feels normal until you realize it's draining you constantly. Real recovery only happens when stimulation drops low enough for the nervous system to reset. Not passive scrolling, not background videos, not relaxing with more input. Silence, stillness, or physical effort. This is why people feel better after intense exercise. It gives the nervous system a clear signal: effort, then release. The same applies to focus. The brain restores energy faster during deep, uninterrupted work than during shallow multitasking. Depth creates meaning. Meaning stabilizes dopamine. The problem is, depth now feels uncomfortable. When stimulation is removed, the brain protests. It reaches for novelty, for noise, for distraction. People interpret that discomfort as tiredness. It's not tiredness, it's withdrawal. The nervous system has adapted to constant input, so the solution is not more hacks, not more optimization, not more routines. The solution is subtraction, fewer inputs, longer focus windows, clear effort reward loops, one demanding task per day, done without interruption, not 10 half tasks, one thing, done deeply. This retrains the nervous system to associate effort with satisfaction again. Light exposure early in the day matters. It anchors alertness. Movement matters. It stabilizes arousal. But the most important factor is attention hygiene. What you allow into your mind shapes how much energy you have. If your brain never gets silence, it never rebuilds capacity. If your attention is constantly fragmented, motivation decays. Feeling tired all the time does not mean something is wrong with you. It means your environment trained your nervous system incorrectly. And the fix is not belief. It's regulation. Energy returns when the brain trusts that effort leads somewhere. Focus returns when silence stops feeling threatening. You don't need more motivation. You need fewer distractions and deeper work.